Welcome back to Comics, the podcast where me and my mom look through our comic book collection, 2 issues at a time. The Incredible Hulk 297 is what we have today. The cats are stampeding in the background. This I picked mainly for the cover. I got this at our local comic store, one of our stores, Pop's Comics, and I love that reflection.
I know.
It's crazy looking. And
it almost has the what's his name from the X-Men, the
Warlock. Yeah, it kind of
Warlock.
does look like him with the jagged lines and stuff. And I like the way the pink title pops on the black background.
Yeah, it's very nice, striking.
I'd like to find a few covers that have like prominent reflections like that and do like juxtapose them in series.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
This one's from 1984.
And we've
Sleep
got
My
the
Child.
Caveman Hulk. Remember when they drew him more caveman-like, more Neanderthal-ish?
He's stout. He's wide, and he's in his savage form in this comic. So we start off with him punching a rock, and he says, "Rawr, what is wrong with Hulk? Why can't Hulk remember where he is? Why can't Hulk remember where he has been? For the tortured behemoth men call the Incredible Hulk, remembrance fails, because the reality on which memory must rest seems to shimmer and shift, as if the Hulk were some savage sleepwalker and all life were but a dream." This is written by Bill Mantlo and drawn by Sal Buscema and Gary Talayak. I really like this splash
This is nice.
Yeah, this is really cool. I like how the emphasis is on the wreckage, because you don't even get all of Hulk's figure there. You just get half of it. His grotesque big toes.
I know.
His toe is like half the size of his
Holy
damn head.
Oh, you think he wears Crocs?
Yeah.
Definitely.
With the bling on them. And peace attend thee all through the night. So I guess that's a multi-title. It's Sleep My Child and Peace Attend Thee All Through the Night.
Oh, the song, yes. Or the poem.
But for those whose rest has been shattered by the monster's passing, whose dreams have been left a shambles in his wake, they can only expect to wake to nightmare. Which is actually kind of a, what do you call it?
Are we foreshadowing
Yeah,
something?
a little foreshadowing of what's to come with Nightmare.
Oh.
But yeah, that's a really cool scene.
The villagers. I didn't even see those back then.
I know, their sunken features and stuff really make them look, just the shadows of their eyes and mouth. So we cut to 2 S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, well, an ex-S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and a current one. As madness reigns upon the earth, the sky witnesses a gathering of eagles. This is S.H.I.E.L.D. Flyer Squadron Delta 09er, relaying back to Helicarrier Home Base, requesting orders, Home Base. Do we capture or kill? So, this is Agent Gabe Jones, and this is Hulk's current girlfriend here. So consternation crosses the features of the woman seated in the S.H.I.E.L.D. flyer beside Agent Gabe Jones. Kill, that's Dr. Robert Bruce Banner down there. I like how she uses his full name and title. That's Rob Bruce Banner. Rob Bruce.
Bob Bruce.
When I agreed to help S.H.I.E.L.D. locate him, there was never any mention of killing. Things have changed, and fast. Dr. Waynesboro, Nick. And fast, Dr. Waynesboro, so that's her name. Okay. Nick, Colonel Fury, isn't running the show just now, so you'd have to refer to S.H.I.E.L.D. miniseries to figure out why Nick Fury's not in control. And as far as your boyfriend is concerned, well, all I can say is the Hulk, he plays awfully rough, don't he? So they're flying over the wreckage. And we have a couple references to other ongoing series. Gabriel Jones is a soldier. In his time, he's seen a world at war with itself, and lately a world at war with an alien enemy so evil, so insidious as to make his warriors' blood run cold. So the first reference, War with Itself, see the classic Sergeant Fury in his Howling Commando series, and for the second asterisk, an alien enemy. That's
Skrulls?
Rom,
Oh,
Space Knight. So it
Rom,
must be the
really?
Wraiths, the Dire Wraiths or whatever.
Yes.
So they're flying over the wreckage and they deploy their units here.
Jeez.
Is America at war with the Hulk? So not only do they might be, they're fighting some internal threat, they're fighting an alien invasion. Now they might have to subdue the Hulk. And this is issue, what was it, 297? Yeah. I think we have maybe 300 or some, we have some of the issues around this era, but we didn't have this particular issue till I got it a couple weeks ago. And I think this is similar to, do you remember, episodes and episodes ago we did the one where all the heroes are trying to subdue the Hulk?
Yes.
And I mean, that's happened a bunch of times, but there was one with the cover where they're all converging on him. I think this is a similar, I'll have to check the issue number for that one. So, they're debating like, well, it seemed like Hulk had his, I skipped a page there. So they're, talking about, do we have to kill the Hulk and are we going to subdue him? And it's like, well, can they even kill the Hulk?
Right.
And the doctor says, I don't believe this. I came back to S.H.I.E.L.D. because the man I love, a man the world owes more than it can ever repay, needs help reversing the process that's made him a monster again. But instead of helping the Hulk, you're determined to hunt him down and destroy him. Look, Doc, you were a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent yourself once. In fact, you were assigned to watch over Dr. Banner in case something like this began all over again. If only you'd contacted us before the destruction started. But it was all so fast, Gabe. Outside of a few nightmares that were troubling him, Bruce seemed free of the Hulk for the first time in his life.
Oh, boy.
I like this grandpa looking Hulk. He's almost like if Scrooge became a Hulk or something.
Right?
But I guess this is a mobster Max Hammer they're alluding to. I don't know that I'm familiar with that storyline, but
No.
recently it said everything went wrong. The misuse of his gamma cure by mobster Max Hammer, that must be Max Hammer there, coupled with the pain from a wound he'd received fighting off-world somewhere, unleashed the savage side of his persona once more. That's one thing I'd like to check out is
Right.
him having a long-standing wound, because I feel like, something that could hurt the Hulk. It must have been I wonder what wounded him.
Well,
so badly.
yeah, because he's been shot. He's been shot with, what is it, missiles?
Mhm.
He's had all kinds. He's gone into
Yeah, it
explosions.
seems like nothing can really hurt him permanently.
Yeah, you don't see him with shrapnel sticking out of him. It's almost like a Superman invulnerable skin kind of.
Yeah. So we flash back to, I tried to get through to Bruce to call him back, and we see that happen. He slaps her hand away. I don't think he makes contact, but kind of just lashes out. Rawr! So he had gone into his most savage form. I watched the man I love leap into the sky, snarling like a mad animal.
Oh,
You loved him
no.
very much, didn't you? I did, Gabe. I do. Listen to me. Try to understand my position. Earth's at war. That's right, war. That's right, war. Right now, with an alien enemy, the existence of which has been kept top secret. But secret or not, the enemy exists, and it's been wreaking incredible devastation, death, and destruction in its efforts to eradicate mankind and take over our planet. Devastation, death, and destruction, the 3 Ds.
Oof.
People are scared, on the verge of panic. It won't take much to stampede them. And of course, refer to Rom Space Knight for more of the human stampede. So the 5 people that didn't die in this wreckage are all like, are you here to help us build back our houses? He's like, no, I'm here to kill the Hulk. So he's like, well, I'm wearing the Hulk pants jacket. Why did he break my house? I wore his favorite color. So a lot of the rest of this comic is the Hulk by himself wandering through the forest. So there's not a ton of dialogue. It goes pretty
Yeah.
quickly. But I love some of this artwork, the detail in it.
That'd make a fantastic mural.
Yeah. Perhaps this night is longer than most. Perhaps to a being such as the Hulk, the passage of time is immaterial. All he knows, all he cares about, is that it is dark. Dark sky above him, dark shadows obscuring his vision all around him, dark dreams filling his head, never allowing him a moment's rest from his nightmare. There's that word again. So he's
Oh, these
lashing
are
out,
nice.
and punches a tree. Yeah, I like these quick moment to moment.
That rabbit shouldn't have lipped off.
Yeah. And he's raging, and he steps on the edge of this embankment here. It is the nightmare he rages against, and he falls head first, face first, into the river here. The nightmare that unsettles him. It's funny to see him just hurt himself and
then get madder.
Yeah.
And then
it's a cycle. So we got a lot of quick moment-to-moment panels here too.
Oh, these are great.
I know. He's looking like he's made out of oatmeal or something. So he's lashing out, and he says that taunts and torments him, the nightmare, and he sees his own reflection with the loss of his dream. Huh? Face in water? Hulk's face? Not mad, smiling. Not always angry like Hulk. And the deer are watching him.
Oh, no.
But one of them dislodges this rock, which,
of course,
creates a ripple that changes the image that Hulk is staring at, his own face. The face changes, the dream fades, and he rages as that. He's trying to look at his reflection.
It's so irrational. Just,
I like how they zip in. They zoom in on. You don't see the deer's faces, but the rabbit's like, holy shit. The raging behemoth may not know what it is he has lost, but he does know that he has lost something. Hulk has lost everything. And so eventually, like a toddler freaking out, you just have to let him wear himself out until he falls asleep, head up on that's got to be bad for your neck.
Oh,
on this log.
He's going to wake up with a aching stiff
neck,
and be mad about that.
It's also weird that the Hulk can fall asleep and then wake up and he's still the Hulk. Like he's still angry all through his sleep.
Oh, yeah. Well, but it says he's battling a nightmare.
Yeah. So this is the Hulk's nightmare. Sleep twisted and tormented by demented dreams. Hi, you know me? I'm Dr. Robert Bruce Banner. That's right, world-famous physicist, pioneer in gamma-ray research. He loves purple. But that's not all, not by a long shot. I can show you a half a dozen men and women with my scientific genius. So what? What's the big deal? What have I got that they haven't got? Well, enough said. I've made it, eh? I'm sitting on top of the world. Instead of being controlled by the Hulk, I control the Hulk. In addition, my gamma-ray research has reaped me a fortune, fame, even love. Looks like I've got it all. Except a more primal version of the Hulk breaks out of the earth that he's standing on. And he's plummeting through his nightmare. His world shatters, his dreams swept away from him like discarded Christmas wrapping. A horrible howling assaults his ears, the howling of the victims of his misapplied gamma treatment, the miracle cure that represented his life's work. I like these faces.
It's like he's falling through their nightmares.
Yeah, he should experience a little bit of their terror.
He needs to do some work on himself.
Well, we get these really cool distorted versions of the Avengers and the Fantastic Four. I like Sue is looking pretty evil.
Oh, look at Ben.
Yeah. He looks like a Skrull version of himself or something. Thus, fortune is stripped from him and fame, leaving only love, that most sought after of his attainments, unaccounted for. Kate, dead, killed by my own savagery. Kate! No, I've got to think. I can still think. I can. I'm still Bruce Banner, still in control. Oh God, I need help. Help, Hulk? The Avengers will help you. I, Monster, will not let you rampage across the face of the earth again. No, we'll destroy you first. Destroy me? But you applauded me, hailed me as a hero. We should have known what a crock that was, Greenskin. You gotta be destroyed for your own good. You're a monster. You were always a monster. No, I'm not a monster anymore. The president pardoned me. He ripping up his pardon.
Wow.
Why is this happening? Don't they understand I'm not a monster anymore, that I'm a hero? The adamantium statue, sculpted by Alicia Masters, represented the triumph of Bruce Banner's reason over the Hulk's rage. She chose adamantium because, as the strongest metal known to man, it could not be destroyed, altered, or corrupted. How do you make a statue out of it if it can't be altered, or destroyed, or corrupted? How do you chisel away at an unbreakable metal? How do you melt it to form it into a likeness of the Hulk? giving a
right. And does
he's reaching
Wolverine
out towards the
injure
future or
him?
something. I think Wolverine's claws can puncture the Hulk's
Okay,
skin.
so
But I'm just wondering, how do you construct a thing out of materials that are not easily manipulated, right?
right.
I guess they must have melted adamantium to get it
Get him
into Wolverine's.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
But
So I guess maybe it does have if it gets hot enough. And it's funny though, because they have to depict it as unbreakable. I guess breaking is different than melting though.
right.
So quite unlike the man she chose for her model, so he can be destroyed, altered, or corrupted. The statue, it's coming to life, snarling savagely, smashing out at me. The Hulk runs then, lost in the insanity that besets him, blinded by his tears. I'm losing everything, all I worked for,
He's
prayed
crying?
for. Yeah, he's sad.
Jeez.
Suffered for. It's all slipping away, and soon I'll have nothing left. You'll always have us, Doc. Yeah? People drawing nearer to me, not afraid, not running. My friends, those I've loved, Rick Jones, Betty Ross, Doc Samson, Kate.
Oh,
It'd be
and
funny
his
if the Hulk
face.
got really sad, he turned blue and became
Oh,
a monster of
it
sadness.
got really small and weak.
All my friends. Friends? A monster can't have friends. But
Oh.
you said you'd never abandon me. I like this cloud-like stuff and the energy lines there.
This is really intense. That hatred.
Yeah. That was then. That was when there was some hope for you, when there was a chance of freeing Bruce Banner from the savage curse afflicting him. But Bruce is dead. Banner's gone. Only the Hulk remains, and for the Hulk, there could be no hope. No hope, no hope, no hope is echoing. Don't run from me. Don't leave me.
Poor fella.
Don't you understand? Unless I know that you, at least you, believe in me, then I truly have nothing left. I truly am without hope. Unless you help me, I'll become a monster all over again. The world is swept up, then caught and carried as if by some unfelt breeze, and left to echo till it threatens to deafen he who spoke it. Monster, monster. All right, reject me, refuse to help me. You're just dooming yourselves, for if the world wants to call me monster, then a monster will I be.
Oh, no.
He's
Hulk.
just punching the air. I do like this ad for Power Man and
Oh,
Iron
wow.
Fist.
For
It
a
almost
second, I
seems
was
like it's part of the comic,
oh,
yeah.
Power Fist is gonna, or Iron Fist is gonna come in and.
Iron Fist says, listen, Power Man's not here right now, so we have a few seconds to talk. The problem is, he found out that some of you aren't buying our magazine. That's making him, well, mad. When he gets mad, he breaks things and people. On sale monthly, 60 cents, cheaper than a doctor bill.
Wow.
Silence. The terrified screaming engendered at the sight of him has ceased, faded away, leaving only a man afraid of the savage beating of his own heart. No, please, I don't want to lose my humanity again. I don't want to be a monster. Isn't there anyone, some power that can help me remain a man? A star descends from the heavens, a star that mystically alters its appearance. He's like the Good Witch or something coming down. To present to the trembling Hulk a friendly, familiar figure. If you wish help, friend Hulk, you have but to seek the master of the mystic arts, Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm. What's going on?
Did you hear, Hulk? I said, seek Doctor Strange, 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 seek Doctor Strange. The phrase seeps inexorably, hypnotically into the Hulk's subconscious, and he finds himself repeating it when his eyes finally open, releasing him from his dream. Seek Doctor Strange, seek Doctor Strange, seek Doctor Strange. Huh? Hulk knows Doctor Strange. Strange was Hulk's friend once. If Hulk needs help, Strange will help Hulk, or Hulk will smash. But we're revealed in the last page.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
you will, Hulk. Yes, you most surely, most sincerely will. The gentleman's name is Nightmare.
Okay, does this cross over with the Doctor Strange?
I would assume so, yeah. I think
We
we'll have to
will.
look for that issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have classic, very Steve Ditko-esque
Doctor
globules
Strange.
and
Yes.
weird abstract shapes and melting stars
Interesting.
and stairways to nowhere. And who would want to rule over this dimension?
I
What
know
if you gotta
it.
get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night? You fall off the
Maybe
endless
that's
staircase.
what all that globs were. What?
Talk about grotesque. The baby of 1984.
Wow.
Woo! Something about his face. He just looks extra derpy. And the diaper, that's a bit much.
His toes are still really huge.
And his feet are like the length of his thigh and calf. Some weird proportions there. So that's our Incredible Hulk for the week. We have a change of pace, something from Renegade Press here. I don't think I've ever heard of Renegade Press.
I know.
I like the art style, though.
You know me, I'll see something. That's what drew me, is the art style. And out of the two of us, I'm the one that's usually going for the indie comics.
The Silent Invasion.
So this is the last part I'm gathering of this series, but they catch you up on what's going on. But the art style, look at the brim of his hat.
Oh, this is from 1987.
Huge. Yeah, it's the same age as you. So what we really know about flying saucers. July 1952, shortly after midnight. The downtown streets of Union City are empty. Empty except for Peggy Black and a distraught Matt Sinkage. The names are something else.
Sinkage.
Calm down, Matt. You're ranting like a madman. I'm not ranting, Peggy. I finally know what's really happening and what happened at Albany. And I know what you really are. You need help, Matt. Perhaps Kalashnikov. That only proves what I've been saying. I overheard Kalashnikov tell Zanny to kill me, and you, Peggy, are trying to help him. I know what's going on, Peggy, and I've got to stop it. You see, I've seen the files in Kalashnikov's apartment. Files on me, on you, on Gloria, and on many others. The files? Don't they look, she kind of looks like she's from a Bizarro World.
Yeah, the
it's really
right angles on their faces, like the rectangular.
And look at how
they're so boxy.
Yeah, look at the size relationship, their heads to the rest of their bodies. Crazy. Only a little of each.
This is from 87, but you could see the influence because in the 90s, the mainstream comics started doing that, like the big hulking bodies with the small heads. All he needs is a bunch of pouches and belts and guns.
And and a 12-pack.
1991, yep.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 13.
So only a little of each. Not even very much of my... wait, did I skip a page? No, this is 2.
I don't think so. Yeah, we were good.
Let me see here. This is weird.
The files?
The files. Only a little of each. Not even very much of my own before I had to get out of there. But enough that I could figure out the truth. I know what you are. An alien. And so am I. Huh? Somehow our minds, our bodies have been possessed by these creatures. It happened to me in Albany. But when you were overcome, I don't know. Kalashnikov must have lured you into his apartment, and it happened there. We've become prisoners in our own bodies. Matt, that's ridiculous. These aliens appear to need us, need our bodies to gather information they need to prepare for an invasion of Earth. But you're not an alien. You're Matt Sinkage. Peggy, I am an alien, or at least partly, and somehow I'm able to sense that you are the same alien who possessed Gloria. I've watched you, listened to you. You're not the same Peggy I knew a month ago. You're different, more lively, more outgoing. It's as if Peggy has been locked away in her own mind. Matt, you should listen to yourself. It's crazy. It's like, that Peggy I knew before was a loser. And look at you.
Maybe they're
lively.
dire wraiths. They're going to cross over with Marvel and start invading.
And I think Kalashnikov's an alien too. I waited for you while you were in the hospital. I defended you against the slurs and accusations of Katie and my mother. I too stood by you when you were fired, and even when you were accused of murder. Hell, he might even be the head spy. I always thought he was a commie spy and never realized until now. So why am I different? Was it because of the shock treatments? And now you're accusing me of being a bug-eyed monster from space? I can't believe it. You are crazy. You do need help. And why did Gloria, the real Gloria, die? Matt, are you listening to me? When the flying saucer came for Gloria, for you, back in Steubenville, why did Gloria die when you left her body? And if you ever get help, if you're ever well again, don't bother calling me. We're history, Matt. Tell me, Peggy. Peggy, maybe I am crazy. And even in these simple lines and stuff, you really get the distraughtness of his character, you know? That they still...
Yeah, that crosshatching is like, I guess his 5 o'clock shadow or something.
Yeah.
It's very simplified.
Simplified, but yet it still
The drawings
conveys.
they remind me of that in Understanding Comics, where he has the spectrum of like cartoon to realism.
Yeah.
Where something's an icon if it's just like a really abstracted smiley face, and then it's more, that goes up the spectrum to more photorealistic or whatever. This is definitely towards the other end of the spectrum.
So he's a wiggly starfish.
Yeah, that's a weird feeling.
I wonder if that's the alien.
Jumbled.
Right. Maybe I didn't have it all figured out. I wandered through the empty streets and finally returned to the truck where I tried to think things through, but passed out from exhaustion. Sleeping on my problem only helped to convince me that I was right, but I needed help. I needed help to tell my story. Hey, buddy, you need a permit to park around here. Normally, I would have gone to Dan Maloney for help, but I had to settle for Frank Costello. Another coffee, Mr. Sinkage? Frank lived in one of the bungalows over in Ajax that were built during the war.
Some of these cars and stuff remind me of the art from Batman the Animated Series, that kind of retro.
Oh.
Let's see, who's the artist on this one? So Larry Hancock wrote it. Michael Shirkus maybe did the artwork. Never heard of him. It's cool though.
Yeah. And taking care of her father and attending college kept Frank's daughter pretty busy. Dad tells me you're not really a communist, but I don't believe him, Professor. Professor Isaacson says, why don't you let us have a bit of privacy, Nancy, okay? What a little judgmental little brat. But not busy enough to mind her own business. I never did like that girl.
They have such broad shoulders.
Yes. They almost look very robotic.
Yeah, she definitely looks like a robot.
Like she kind of resembles what's her name from the Jetsons, the maid?
Rosie?
Yes, Rosie. That's crazy. You realize the trouble I'd be in if you were found here, don't you? Yes, and I'm grateful you haven't called the police, but you've got to believe me. Everything I told you in your office a few weeks ago was true. Even now. Only now it's even worse. Such as very interesting panels and close-ups.
I like his character design. It's like he's got a sideways lightning bolt for hair.
Yes. And dots. Yep. And I've uncovered a plot by aliens to invade the Earth. They're taking possession of various people and using them to obtain secret information. You've been watching too many movies. Frank, they've even taken possession of Peggy. I can't help you, Matt. Where's your proof? In the newspaper business, we're dealing in hard facts. As wild as this seems, get me the evidence and I'll stand by you. But I don't have any. I'm sorry, Matt. I'd like to help, but I'm sorry too, Frank. I thought I could count on you. How could Dad ever be a friend of a commie? And the look
Is
on her
this set
face.
in like the Red Scare era or something? They keep talking about commies and...
What did it say there? 50...
I must have missed the timestamp. Oh, yeah, 52. So I guess, yeah, they're leaning hard into the era.
And ring. Oh.
I like how the TV or the telephone gets its own word bubble, like
Exactly.
speaking and not...
It's a major character.
He's a sick man, Nancy. Either that or the rest of society is sick. And these days, I don't know which I'd rather believe. Tell him to wait, for Christ's sake. Tell him I'll be there in a minute.
Oh, yeah. She's like, Dad, it's
Yeah, went out of order.
Mr. Self. He seemed pretty upset when I told him you were talking to Mr. Sinkage. What should I tell him? Tell him to wait, for Christ's sake. Tell him I'll be there in a minute. Proof, he says. How the hell do I prove I'm an alien? I drove around Union City, lost in my thoughts. I needed time. Time to rest. Time to think. Time to think this through logically. He goes to Stan's bar. I needed a drink. Meanwhile, Mr. Harrison, I've been most pleased with your efforts to date in keeping me one step ahead of Mr. Housley? Yeah, he thinks I believe him when he says he's just chasing commies. Nevertheless, I understand you have expressed misgivings as to continuing your dual role. Yeah, well, I can't afford to lose you at this time, Mr. Harrison. You're too valuable a source of information. I do not believe that you would wish it known that it was you who murdered Dick Mallet, would you? I did it on your orders. You wanted those pictures. Such orders cannot be proven. The more I've made sure of that. However, your part in his death definitely can be with the help of a few witnesses in my employ. So you will continue to follow my directions, won't you? Yeah, sure. There was one obvious place to get the evidence that would prove me right. Kalishnikov's apartment. Have I really pieced everything together properly? I'm sure I'm an alien, or at least there's an alien consciousness in me. But why am I still myself? But if I got in there again, could I get out alive? Hey, buddy, you want another beer? Was it because of my stay in the hospital after Albany? Nah, I got things to do, places to go, people to see.
Things to be, places to do.
I gotta be things. There are just too many unknowns. What really happened at Steubenville? Mutter, mutter. Why isn't the real Gloria still alive? Mutter, mutter. Why were Maloney and Mallet killed? Mutter, mutter.
A lot of muttering and circular thinking.
Oh, look at
That's
that.
a weird little face there. It's like he's got the pi sign for
Oh,
eyebrows
yeah.
and eyes.
Yeah, and what is that?
That's the ridge
Eyebrows.
of his head. Don't you have a sharp ridge on your it's where your hairline meets your forehead?
That's where he cuts the Parmesan. Yeah, interesting. In the background, we've got somebody sneaking over a fence. Got this guy leaning up against the building.
The sharp edges on their heads makes it look like the classic Iceman from the early
Right,
X-Men.
yeah. Beer in the morning never did agree with me. Let's see, tuna or egg salad. I needed something to settle my stomach. I stopped for a sandwich. I was still wanted by the police, but it wasn't likely that anyone would recognize me in my present condition. Munch, munch. I tell you, Gladys, there were 3 or 4 of them like huge balls of light just hanging there above the reservoir. I believe you, Irma. Why, just the other day, I was telling George I couldn't get away from them. They were everywhere. The more I thought about it, the more desperate I became. And the more desperate I became, how much? Bosco's Hunting and Sport. He buys a little tiny gun. The lower I sank. There was no choice. I had to face Kalishnikov, but I needed help. If he had hounded me, lied about me, got me fired, accused me of murder, and generally made my life miserable. But when you came right down to it, nobody would be more interested in Kalishnikov than Phil Housley. I'd like to see Mr. Housley, please. Matt Sinkage? Meredith, I told you not to Sinkage! Housley, I need your help. I like how what is that?
Yeah, I thought he had a cigarette or something.
I did too.
Maybe he does. He glued it to his cheek.
Well, you don't take in as much nicotine. I laid it out for him, everything I knew, everything I'd read, everything I believed. And I need your help to prove it. I've got to get at those files in Kalishnikov's apartment. If we could get those files, all the hell you've been going through would be worth it, Mr. Housley. Sinkage, you may think I hate your guts, but I gotta admit, I admire a guy with your resolve. You're willing to fight for what you believe. And cigarettes out of cheeks. That's what I believe.
Those eyes, beady little eyes with the heavy brow like that. crazy.
Guess who's here? Oh, excuse me. I didn't realize. Sinkage. What did he hear? Hey, get out of here, Harrison. What? I said get out of here. Just get out there and sit and wait till I call you. And forget anything you saw and heard. Sinkage ain't here. Got it? I better lock this door, she thinks. I couldn't believe it. I walked in and there he was. How the hell should I know why he's here? Yeah, okay, I'll wait. And it is most important that he be delayed in his office. Mr. Brennan and that Mr. Sinkage be separated from him for a short time. There are certain matters to be disposed of, to be disposed of. This guy's eyebrows are ginormous and his nose.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's got a different, distinct quality to them. Yeah, that's right, Housley. I've got to see you in your office alone. I'll be around by 7. Yeah, see you then. He's still despondent. Trouble? Damn. Something's wrong. I know it. What is it? Everything's fine, Mr. Sinkage. Everything's all right. Isn't it, Mr. Housley? Yeah, I think so. Hell, I don't know. Listen, Sinkage, you've been up front with me, so let me tell you something of my involvement in all of this. Shortly, about 10 to 7. Why, something's troubling him. If only he'd let me help. So typical. I've got some business to take care of. Why don't you two grab a quick bite over at Benny's? I should be finished by the time you get back. What about Kalishnikov? I don't think it's likely that Kalishnikov will fly the coop in the next half hour or so. But just in case, Chuck, Red, get over to Kalishnikov's place and make sure he's at home and that he doesn't go anywhere until we get there. Move it. I really don't think we should wait. The Mudhens beat Mud Hens beat the Leafs again. He's a man of his word, Mr. Sinkage. If he says he'll only be a few minutes, then he'll only be a few minutes.
It's another one of those weird thought bubbles.
Yes. But his is all... So I wonder if that is like the alien inside him portion.
It's like they're talking so much around the plot, and they're trying to make it so mysterious, it's really hard to get into.
It is, yes. Sometimes there's so much that the letter... They did it...
Coming into it not knowing anything about the characters, they're not... You know, they say every comic is somebody's first comic. This would be a rough first comic.
Yeah. I really like the person who lettered it. They did a really nice job, but some of the letters kind of mesh together really well. Or not well. So Sinkage and the secretary leave, and 2 blocks and a half an alley away. It looked like awkward, but
yeah, it's like all caps instead of the Y is lowercase. It's weird.
So Housley is chasing after flying saucers for this council, not for the FBI. That's right. And Brennan?
The guy at Maloney's funeral?
Right. Brennan is Phil's contact with the council. And they believe there's a communist connection to these flying saucers. I recognize that goon in the alleyway. Swack! Ooh! Zanny! Ooh! Bash! Take that! He knocks out the girl. Open that door, Kolsky. Let's go. Come on, Zanny, hurry. This is a mistake. We should kill him now. We will. But Kalishnikov needs to know what he's told Housley. Has he awakened yet? He's just coming around now. Good. We must find out what he knows. If you gentlemen will excuse us, I think I will ask Mr. Sinkage a few questions alone. Agreed? What? Sure thing, Ivan. But you gotta hurry. The other moving van will be here in about a half hour for the files and heavy equipment.
Some of the art reminds me of like Ren and Stimpy or something. He's got a little tongue out.
Yes.
Or like the Fairly Odd Parents animation.
Yes.
Kind of similar to that.
He's sitting there talking and just cracking his face. Poof, poof. So, Mr. Stinkage, how much have you told Housley about your suspicions? What does he know? What is he suspecting? Go take a flying leap, Kalishnikov. I know who you are and what you are. And I'm not about to tell you anything that'll make your invasion easier. So you believe you know the truth, do you? Perhaps it is time to set you straight about a few things. Awaken you to speak. Huh? What do you mean? For example, hello, Matt.
I hope something interesting happens.
But Peggy, of course, Mr. Sinkage, but don't you expect to find her here? After all, your conjectures about Miss Black and the departed Gloria Amber, you are really surprised to learn you were right. Matt, you don't seem pleased to see me. It is unfortunate the drugs I fed you didn't work. They were our last hope to suppress your memories. Now tell us, how much does Housley know? Oh, she looks so evil.
Mm-hmm.
You're not Peggy. You're an alien freak. Get out of Peggy's mind. Get out of her body. Let her go. It's me you want, not her. Surely you'll tell me, Matt. I was afraid of this. Miss Black, perhaps you can convince Mr. Sinkage to talk while I make a call. Refuse to divulge information. Therefore, it is best that you arrange for immediate recall. Understood? So it must be that alien speak. There he is, back by the garage. I'm going to watch the back door. You stay here.
So many characters in suits with wide shoulders and hats.
He's the widest of all. Sure thing. Hey, can you lend me a sawbuck till Tuesday? There's an egg in the 5th at Cushing Meadows that looks... So it looks like Housley's guys are just getting there. Damn, it's 8:30. Where's Brennan? What's he think I've got nothing better to do but sit around here and pick my nose? And where are Meredith and Sinkage? They should be back by now. I've had enough of this. Working late, Mr. Housley? Nah, just sat on my butt for 2 hours waiting for a guy who probably never intended to come. Huh? Forget it, Tony. Have a good night. Ooh, Meredith, what happened? Where's Sinkage? Two men jumped us before we got to Benny's. They clubbed Sinkage and got me with the roundhouse. Who were they, Meredith? Listen to me. Did you recognize the men? I woke up in the alley and yeah, it was Kalishnikov's thugs, Zanny and Kolsky. Listen, I'm going over to Kalishnikov's. They probably took him there. If Chuck or Red call, tell him what happened. And take care of that eye. You hear? Oh, yeah. It's interesting. It was a little confusing, but it wraps itself up. In the alleyway behind the
I think the mainstream comics just
Exeter.
have an advantage where you have a familiarity with the premise, even
yes.
if you haven't read the series in a while.
Yes.
This one's a lot of alluding to things I should care about, but I guess I
But right.
haven't read any of the other ones. And
Mr.
reading it
Harrison.
right all the way through.
Right. I mean, some of the most interesting parts to me were the different lines they used
Yeah,
to
this one was
separate
like
the
Dilbert
characters.
or something.
Right. But Mr. Harrison, I have another task for you. Destroy the contents of Kalishnikov's apartment by any means you see fit. Tonight. No buts, Harrison. No one need be killed. However, should Kalishnikov and Sinkage die, I could see adding a generous bonus to your next check. But what's so important about the apartment? That's my concern, not yours. Just perform your assigned task. It wouldn't suit my purpose to let Kalishnikov's file land in the hands of Housley and the council. If it'll not hurt to tell you that your conjectures about me, about all of this, were mostly correct. Unfortunately, I suspect you've told Mr. Housley. So he thinks agents, sleepers? Therefore, I've been forced to recall all agents currently active in the sector. Unfortunately, we must abandon our sleeper agents. But this experience is not completely wasted. We have learned much by observing you. Your processing has hurried. Your processing has hurried. So instead of getting a sleeper agent, We get no agent at all. Why? Maybe your shock treatments. Sniffed. Do I smell smoke? Aliens, agents. I thought the guy was a simple commie. What have I gotten into? But whatever the reason, your own life force persisted, competing with that of our agents, an event we've never had before experienced. Unfortunately, you will have to be terminated. Do whatever you want to me, but let Peggy go. You really don't understand, do you, Mr. Sinkage? I have just explained that in all cases except yours, the host life force is destroyed. The human body is nothing more than a shell for our agent. Miss Black is dead. Kaput. Do you smell smoke? What's he talking about? You scumball! You've murdered Peggy, too. It was not necessary. Otherwise, we could not have found you. Don't get any ideas, Sinkage. As a sleeper agent, you could have been very valuable to us. But when your alien memories began to interfere, you became unstable, a danger to us and yourself. Want to play some more, Sinkage? Smoke, and the doorknob's hot. Fire! Smoke poured into Kalishnikov's apartment. The shock of what was happening momentarily paralyzed Kalishnikov and his hired help. Calf, calf, don't panic. We must save the files. Calf, calf. Calf, calf, I've got to get those files. They're my only proof. Calf, calf, where's Sinkage? Calf, calf. Oh, God. I used that time to my advantage. It might have been my last chance. Right, here you go, bag of dirt. And as for you, you commie swine, I must have lost myself in the excitement of rearranging Colt's face. I didn't notice Kalishnikov or Peggy slip out. Kalishnikov, Peggy! The smoke was getting thick. I could have pulled Zanny and Colts out. I didn't. Where'd they go? Schneider, calf. Which way did Kalishnikov go? Calf, calf. They went up the back stairs. Calf, calf. But you gotta get out of here, calf. This place is burning fast. Calf, calf. Calf, I got business to furnish first. Calf, calf. Oh my gosh. So he goes out onto the roof. Kalishnikov! Go back, Mr. Sinkage. You don't belong here. In the past, you were valuable to us, but not anymore. Peggy, Gloria, don't go. No, Matt, go back. We were friends once, here and out there, but not anymore. Please, go back. And they came from the sky in hundreds that night. There were sightings all over Union City. Later, they were discounted as mass hysteria. But one saucer in particular interested me. Ivan! So Peggy's grabbing at him. You can't leave me, Ivan. You must take me with you. A beam of light shot down, focusing on Kalishnikov only, not on Peggy. Look out! The wall is giving away. The rear of the building crumbled. Peggy hung on for brief moments and then tumbled into the wreckage alongside Kalishnikov. Whether or not the alien escaped from Kalishnikov's body, I don't know, but I did know that the vile creature that had killed both Peggy and Gloria was dead. I was glad. I felt no sense of loss. I experienced a strange feeling of detachment, as if it had all been just one more nightmare. I found Housley in the crowd. Here he is. This is the rat I saw set into fire. Harrison, you slimeball, I don't know who you're working for or what your game is, but when I find out, your ass is grass. Try it, Housley, just try it. I've got friends who are going to make you crawl. But why? I don't know. But I think we've been double-crossed. I think maybe it's time I get out of this racket. It's a shame about those files, and if we've gotten our hands on them, we could have blown this thing sky high. The next morning, all the papers towed the line. Not one had the guts to tell the truth. What the hell? Not one mention of the saucers. Costello, that rat, says apartment fire kills 5. But it was finally over. I could forget the last few months and put my life together, or so I thought. And that's everything that happened. Well, unfortunately, it seems he has suffered a total relapse. But it is the truth, I tell you. Where's Housley? He'll vouch for me. I didn't tell you, Walter? You never listened to me. Mr. Housley is unavailable now, Mr. Sinkage. But he did ask me to come and speak for him on your behalf. And I am in full agreement with Dr. Dool. Walter, in my opinion, your brother Matt exhibits all the classic symptoms of dementia and schizophrenia. I am therefore acting on your request that Matt be held for further examination. And now, if you'll just sign these papers. Katie, I don't know. This isn't right. Shut up, Walter. Shut up and sign. Heh heh, the council will be pleased. Come along, Matt. So he's in a straitjacket and let out the door. Epilogue. Frank Costello quit the Sentinel Gazette rather demonstratively during his last meeting with the publisher Morgenthau. Bam! Zanny and Colts survived the fire, but were found dead in their car outside Union City 2 nights later. Phil Housley left the FBI and the council and set up his own investigation agency, and Meredith is finally happy. 5 people died in the Exeter fire. Chucky Harrison found out that he didn't have any friends after all, so he's going in the electric chair. Buzz Brennan still toils for the council, twice as hard and for half the pay. And Red Foster was found blameless in the whole mess. Real ignorance has its moments. Next, Matt picks up the pieces.
Oh,
So,
that's interesting.
yeah.
Silent Invasion. The final battle. Well, yeah, that was pretty good.
It was interesting. I would say it was interesting.
Yeah, I think it has potential. I think one of those things where maybe you need to read it from the beginning to really
Right.
be involved in the stakes of it.
Right. Or know that know what the writers and artists were going for. You know, it brought up a lot of questions.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you enjoyed watching this, please comment and give us a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you.